You're going to put your rule outs. You see, I've taken those rule outs away from the problem list. The problem list should not have rule outs, question marks, or probables. It should be a precise, reproducible statement of the problem at the level you can understand it and guarantee it, no matter how unsophisticated you have to get. And we've got to fix the system so that students are much more ashamed of being imprecise and dishonest than they are of being unsophisticated. They should never worry about whether they remember or whether they're sophisticated. All they have to be ashamed of is that I miscommunicated. I overstated the case. I misstated the problem. As Bernano says, the worst, the most corrupting of all lies is to misstate the problem. So keep it pure, and then in your plans, under more information, will go your thinking and your logic. There's your differential diagnosis. But don't let it get mixed up with the problem until you can update your problem in a secure way. I pick up charts, and it'll have, well, the one I picked up the other day, it had infectious disease, question mark, on a problem list. Now, what does that mean? In our place, I picked one up the other day. It says, problem number 5, rule out diabetes. I said, what's the problem? He couldn't remember whether it was the urinary tract infection or is she the one with polyneuropathy. He says, you don't realize how busy this is. I said, doctor, doctor, never lose sight of the problem. I said, do you see what you would have done? You'd put rule out diabetes. You do a glucose tolerance. The residents say, how's that glucose tolerance? And you'd say, well, 2 hours was 115, fine, we cleared that up, she can go home. Cleared it up, she never had it. You see, the problem is still vaginitis or neuropathy. Another plan was rule out diabetes. And when that's normal, then what are you going to do next? And you'll find, if you do this rigorously, that over half the time, on half the problems, you will never resolve it. You've got to learn what Whitehead talks about, is this capacity for sustained muddle-headedness. And a tolerance of ambiguity. You know, Pavlov said you must teach a graduate student gradualness. He must never be forced to overstate his position, misstate his problem. And good medicine is a careful, rigorous, inching your way towards a more and more secure position. A final diagnosis is a myth. There were never 2 cases of lupus the same. There are no absolute, final criteria. You must define them, but recognize that it's the evolution and the following of a patient that's going to make the difference within these explicit definitions. All right, now, what's B under a plan? What you're going to do to treat. Never mix what you're going to do to treat with what you're going to do to get more information. Now you say, oh, we never would do that. But yes, you do. I'll see in treatment when I pull a chart and separate it, and I see chlorothiazides here. And they were getting serum sodiums for something, sodiums, urine sodiums for this aldosteronism problem or something. And as I separate, they look, oh my God, you see, what they were doing is they were getting more information on what they did than on what they had. And we do that all the time. We do so much to a patient. We give them so many drugs and so many procedures and so much psychiatric confusion that when we do our tests, it's really a much better, more information on what we've done to her than what the original problem was. You know, the intern gets her in and she's got all this diarrhea. Next thing you know, he's doing stool analysis on barium. Now, what's C under any plan? What you're going to do to treat. What you're going to do to, what you're going to tell the patient. And no place in American records do we have an organized approach to what we're going to do to tell the patient. Under that hypertension, did you tell her it was serious or not serious? How you're going to study it or whether you're not going to study it. All right, now let me quickly get from the plan to the progress notes. Never in American medicine have we highly structured progress notes in a problem-oriented way, where we had a complete problem list and we numbered every progress note with respect to the problem. So we're in this box 4 now. Never write doing well. What does that mean? She's got arthritis, heart failure, azotemia, broken hip. Ear infection. You put doing well. What you mean is I'm a cardiologist. They asked me to look at her. I did. We said digitalize her. I came in today. I listened. The rales are gone away. The edema's less. She lost a few pounds. Gallop's gone away. Rhythm's a little slower. The rate's a little slower. I think she's doing well. I didn't know she had glaucoma. These urinary tract infections annoy me, and I never worked up a broken hip in 20 years anyway. That's what he means. You know, when someone said to James Thurber, how's your wife? In what way? Now, so you'll always title a number a progress note. And you will always, when you do it, you will write, I guess I can go in the other direction. Oh, here, can you? That's all right. Did you notice that equation? I used to teach math years ago. We could go on with that. But at any rate. Now, when you put the problem, you put 1, hypertension, and then always write symptomatically and objectively and your quick interpretation and your plan for the next step. Always give the patient's point of view first, then what objective data you have, and where you're going to go. So you're taking each problem in depth, and then you look back at the complete problem list and look at them in context. Now, what does this mean? It means you can write a plan for azotemia. You can read Strauss's book, or you can write one for heart failure, know Friedberg backbirds. And you can know about broken hips. But you can't write a book for Mrs. Jones, who's got this much heart failure and that much azotemia and a broken hip. She's absolutely unique. 88 keys on a piano and 1,000,000 symphonies. There is no absolute treatment for anything. You can lay out your plan explicitly, set up your flow sheet, and then look at it, make a move like in the chess game, and then watch nature's move, then make another move. And you're a guidance system.